Oh, hey, you just caught me mid-step in preparation for my next flight. Can I share a moment of transparency with you that maybe you or someone you know relate to? Let's start from the beginning. My father was a firm believer in teaching them young by putting our kids in extracurricular activities and sports. So what did this mean for my siblings and I? Well, at the early age of 5 years old, I would begin track and field. Yes, and for 11 long, hot years in the summer, I would qualify to Summer Track and Field Junior Olympics. But let's talk about that trip to Indianapolis, though. I remember boarding the plane with my father, tightly grasping his hand, saying, "Dad, what is this supposed to feel like?" And he, firmly grasping my hand back, "Baby, just hold my hand." And I remember thinking, wow, this is going to be the ride of a lifetime. Or a ride of a lifetime. This is before I knew and when I found out what exactly turbulence was. Even though the flight attendants and pilots remained calm and told us to remain calm as well, all my 6-year-old brain heard was, "We're going down." And what I didn't understand at the time was I was feeling immense anxiety. And for the next 18 years, I would hold on to this experience every time I clicked the button to purchase my next flight and board the plane. But in those 18 years, I've learned to cope and I've learned to be okay with not being in control, because that's what it's all about. So I want to share with you some tips and tricks if you have airplane anxiety and what has helped me relieve some of that stress.
You never know what check-in is going to look like. That's why control what you can and allow yourself at least a 2-hour grace period of arriving at the airport. About 40% of the general population have some form of flying fear. Ironically, I was sitting right next to one person who makes up that statistic.
I do actually have airplane anxiety. I definitely do not like when there's bad weather. I hate the crowds. I hate being in a middle seat. I make sure that I get a window seat if I can. I make sure to get to the airport very early.
Let's say your flight is delayed by, an hour. Pro tip number 2, never neglect your health. I always provide myself with some form of breakfast and coffee to give myself the energy and right mindset for the flight ahead. So the first step is getting there. The second step is waiting to get on. The third is, once you're on, how do you stay calm?
Make sure that we have snacks and something to drink.
Just make sure she's sitting next to me.
I took the time to ask some reliable people on what should I be thinking during this time.
It's not dangerous at all. Just on the waves of the air going up and down.
So it's like being on a boat. It's how I should think of it.
Same concept. We paint them on the radar, and we have radar here. So we're just weaving. We weave. We're about 550 miles an hour, so we're moving out.
And with a handful of tips and a delayed flight later, I made it safely to my destination.
I guess you could say they landed the plane, right? It is okay to not be in control. If you have airplane anxiety, remember to pack your snacks and your favorite drink. Bring your AirPods. Make sure your phone is charged. And here I am, knowing that everything was all right.
You all right with me?
Back like I started.